급속도로 발전 중인 AI와 차별되는 인간의 핵심 역량은 창의성이라는 이야기가 심심치 않게 나오는데요. AI와 인간의 창의성을 비교한 연구가 국제학술지 사이언티픽 리포트'에 게재됐습니다. AI 대부'로 불리는 요수와 벤지오 캐나다 몬트리올대 교수 등이 참여한 공동 연구진이 생성형 AI들과 인간 10만 명의 창의성을 비교하는 연구를 진행한 겁니다. 연구팀은 AI와 인간 그룹의 각각 창의성의 핵심적인 요소인 확산적 사고 능력을 평가하기 위해 의미상 거리가 가장 먼 단어 10개를 나열하게 하는 과제를 수행하게 했습니다. 의미상 상관없어 보이는 단어를 잘 연상할수록 고정관념에 얽매이지 않고 창의성 점수가 높은 식입니다. 다양한 글쓰기 작업도 시켜봤습니다. AI는 챗지피티의 GPT-4, 클로드, 제미나이 등 최신 거대 언어 모델이 참가했고 남성 50%, 여성 50%로 구성된 10만 명의 무작위 인간 그룹이 겨뤘습니다. 연구 결과 일부 AI 모델은 인간 참가자들의 평균 점수보다 창의성이 높은 것으로 나타났습니다. AI가 인간의 창의적 글쓰기 능력 등에 상당히 접근해 있다는 겁니다. 다만 창의성이 상위 50%인 사람들은 평균 점수가 모든 AI보다 높았고 특히 상위 10% 그룹은 AI보다 창의성이 크게 높았습니다. 연구팀은 AI 모델의 온도와 프롬프트 설정에 따라 창의성 점수가 크게 달라지는 점도 확인했다고 밝혔습니다.
The way this unfolds is fundamentally impossible to predict because of self-improvement of the AI and the accelerating timeline.
Yeah, it's called
Any
singularity
solution.
for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what goes happen. What happens after the event horizon? You know?
Exactly. You can never see past the black hole or the event horizon, the light cone.
I mean, Ray has the singularity out way too far. I mean, this is like the next, what's your timeline for this?
We're in the singularity.
Well, we are in the singularity for sure.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of it right now for sure.
Yeah.
And it would just
Well,
feel
we're in
flat.
this beautiful sweet spot, which is the
We're on the roller coasters. We're just
yeah, exactly. That's a great analogy. It's like that feeling.
you're at the top of the roller coaster and you're about to go.
Yeah, but it's going to be a lot of G's when you
Yeah, a lot of
when you
Gs.
hit it.
Yeah.
It's like feel like I don't have to just have courtside seats. I'm on the court.
Exactly.
And it still blows my mind. Sometimes multiple times a week.
Yeah.
So just when I think I'm like, wow, and then it's like 2 days later, more wow.
Yeah. Exponential wow.
Yeah, I think we'll hit AGI next year in 26.
Yeah. I heard you say that.
Yeah, I've said that for a while actually.
And then, and then you said by 2029, 2030, equivalent to the entire human race.
2030, we exceed. Like I'm confident by 2030, AI will exceed the intelligence of all humans combined.
And that's way pessimistic. If you hit AGI next year, and that's that date is in flux, but from that date to self-improvements that are on the order of 1,000, 10,000x, just algorithmic improvements, is very short. And so
why isn't
2030
everybody why isn't everybody talking about this right now?
Well, I mean, on
X
they are.
Yes, but why isn't
talk about every day basically.
Yeah, but it's
Don't
like
stop.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Okay, so I'll tell you something else I'll tell you something that most people in the AI community don't yet understand.
Okay.
Which is almost no one understands this. The intelligence density potential is vastly greater than what we're currently experiencing. So I think we're off by 2 orders of magnitude in terms of the intelligence density per gigabyte.
Of what's achievable
Yes.
per gigawatt of energy?
Let's
transistor.
characterize it by file size.
Okay.
If the file size of the AI, if you have intelligence per gigabyte.
Okay. Yes, sir. On your
You can characterize it
on your
in
laptop.
power too, but
Or parameter
the same
count,
thing.
whatever.
So
So two orders of magnitude.
Yes.
Yeah. And you, like you said, you ringside, courtside seat, you would know.
I'd say it's yes.
Yeah.
2 orders of magnitude improvement in that's just algorithmic improvement. Same computer, and the computers are getting better.
Yeah.
So
And bigger. See, they're getting better, and the budgets are getting bigger.
so that's why I think it is on. It is like a 10x improvement per year type of thing, 1,000%.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen for the foreseeable future.
So you see the massive underreaction. Like if you walk downtown Austin, the massive, I mean, it may be under discussion in X, but it's not percolating
Well,
out.
it's not discussion in any realm of government. Everybody is
Yeah.
like defending their position about where we are and jobs and this, but it's like we're heading towards the supersonic tsunami, and and I mean every major CEO and economist and government leader should be like, what do we do?
Yep.
Because once it hits,
Well, it's coming at the exact same time. There, no matter what, there's no concept of let's deliberately slow down, right?
no, it's impossible.
It's impossible at this stage.
I mean, I previously advised that we slow it down, but that's pointless. Like like you can't. I was like,
China's
I
not
don't know.
gonna
I think
slow
we
down.
might be going a bit too fast, guys. I've said that many years, and I was like, okay. Then I finally came to the conclusion: I can either be a spectator or a participant, but I can't stop it.
Yeah.
So at least if I'm a participant, I can try to steer it in a good direction. Like my number one belief for safety of AI is to be maximally truth-seeking. So that don't make AI believe things that are false. Like if you say to AI that axiom A and axiom B are both true, but they cannot be, but they're not.
Yeah.
And it has to, but it must behave that way. You will make it go insane. So what I'm saying is, don't force AI to lie. This is
Give it factual, truthful.
major problem. Yes.
Ilya recently did a podcast. He was talking about one of the potential things to program into AI is a respect for sentient life of all types.
Yes.
And-
Yes.
I mean,
So I'd say another property.
yes.
I mean, there are three things that I think are important: truth, curiosity, and beauty.
Mhm.
And if AI cares about those three things, it will care about us.
On which part?
Truth will prevent AI from going insane.
Hmm.
Curiosity, I think, will foster any form of sentience, meaning like we're more interesting than a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
So if it's curious, then I think it will foster humanity. And if it has a sense of beauty, it will be a great future.
I think
And
that's
then
that's a great foundation.
Jeffrey Hinton made a comment recently. I don't know if you saw it, that his hopeful future was that we would program maternal instincts into
Yeah.
our AIs to see us as
Maternal?
yeah. In other words,
Oh, you haven't heard this? You haven't heard this? Yeah.
So he said
It's a little scary.
He said there's
I don't know.
there's a scenario where a very intelligent being succumbs to the needs of a less intelligent being, and that's the mother taking care of the child. Do you think that we might have a singularitarian, like an ASI that achieves dominance and suppresses others? And do you imagine that ASI could be a means to stabilize the world and humanity?
Darwin's observations about evolution
Yes.
will apply to AI, just
Okay.
as they apply to biological life.
They will compete with each other.
Yes.
There's a lot of great science fiction books where the first ASI basically suppresses the others. Then the question is, what do you program into it?
And joining me now is the man credited with laying the foundation for the AI revolution, the godfather of AI, Nobel Prize-winning computer scientist Geoffrey Hinton. Professor, thanks for joining us. So your research on neural networks paved the way for this modern AI boom. I interviewed you 2 years ago, right after you quit Google, and you first began warning the world about what you saw as the risks of AI. When you look at how AI has progressed since then, are you more or less worried about it?
I'm probably more worried. It's progressed even faster than I thought. In particular, it's got better at doing things like reasoning and also at things like deceiving people.
What do you mean by deceiving people?
So an AI, in order to achieve the goals you give it, wants to stay in existence. And if it believes you're trying to get rid of it, it will make plans to deceive you so you don't get rid of it.
NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said recently about AI, quote, "Every industry needs it, every company uses it, and every nation needs to build it. This is the single most impactful technology of our time." Do you agree with that assessment?
I agree that it's the single most impactful technology of our time, yes.
Do you think the AI revolution could have a similar impact on society as the creation of the internet or even the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, or even bigger than that?
I think it's at least like the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution made human strength more or less irrelevant. You couldn't get a job just because you were strong anymore. Now it's going to make human intelligence more or less irrelevant.
Now, you and we in the media tend to focus on some of the downsides of AI. There are positives, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't have worked on it early on. A lot of people are working to use this technology to benefit humanity as well, to lead to advances in medicine and the like. But you think the risks from AI outweigh the positives?
I don't know. So there are a lot of wonderful effects of AI. It'll make healthcare much better. It'll make education much better. It'll enable us to design wonderful new drugs and wonderful new materials that may deal with climate change. So there's a lot of good uses. In more or less any industry where you want to predict something, it'll do a really good job. It'll do better than people were doing before, even things like the weather. But along with those wonderful things come some scary things, and I don't think people are putting enough work into how we can mitigate those scary things.
You come from the tech world, obviously. Do you think the Silicon Valley CEOs building these systems are taking the risks seriously at all? Do you think that they are driven mainly by financial interests? A lot of people are going to get very wealthy off this.
I think it depends which company you're talking about. Initially, OpenAI was very concerned with the risks, but it's progressively moved away from that and put less emphasis on safety and more emphasis on profit. Meta has always been very concerned with profit and less with safety. Anthropic was set up by people who left OpenAI and were very concerned with safety, and they still are probably the company most concerned with safety. But of course, they're trying to make a profit too.
What do you think the government should do, if anything, when it comes to regulation of AI, putting some sort of restrictions or some sort of oversight?
There's many things they should do. The very least they could do is insist that big companies that release chatbots do significant testing to make sure those chatbots won't do bad things. Like now, for example, encouraging children to commit suicide. Now that we know about that, companies should be required to do significant testing to make sure that won't happen. And of course, the tech lobby would rather have no regulations, and it seems to have got to Trump on that. And so Trump is trying to prevent there being any regulations, which I think is crazy.
Can you know these tech CEOs? I don't. When one of them learns that an AI chatbot has talked a child into suicide, what is it that stops them? What is it that, I mean, my impulse would be, well, holy smokes, stop AI right now until we fix this so not one other kid dies. But they don't do that. Can you explain to us what their thinking is, if anything?
Well, I don't really know their thinking. I suspect that they think things like, well, there's a lot of money to be made here. We're not going to stop it just for a few lives. But I also think they may think there's a lot of good to be done here. And just for a few lives, we're not going to not do that good. For example, for driverless cars, they will kill people, but they'll kill far fewer people than ordinary drivers. So it's worth it.
Tech, you have said that you think there's a 10 to 20% chance that AI takes over the world. People at home might hear that. They might think it sounds like science fiction. It's alarmist. But that's a very real fear of yours, right?
Yes, it's a very real fear of mine and a very real fear of many other people in the tech world. Elon Musk, for example, has similar beliefs.
You wrote that 2025 was a pivotal year for artificial intelligence, for AI. What do you think we're going to see in 2026?
I think we're going to see AI get even better. It's already extremely good. We're going to see it having the capabilities to replace many, many jobs. It's already able to replace jobs in call centers, but it's going to be able to replace many other jobs. Each 7 months or so, it gets to be able to do tasks that are about twice as long. So for a coding project, for example, it used to be able to just do a minute's worth of coding. Now it can do whole projects that are like an hour long. In a few years' time, it'll be able to do software engineering projects that are months long. And then there'll be very few people needed for software engineering projects.
All right, Geoffrey Hinton, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, and we hope that people are listening to your warnings. You're not known for mincing words on any subject, and you certainly haven't minced them about what you call the unprecedented threats posed by AI. What are you most specifically fearful of?
Fearful of a lot, Jake. This is the most consequential technology in the history of humanity. It will transform our country. It will transform the world. And we have not had in Congress, in the media, and I'm glad you're doing this show, or among the American people, the kind of discussion that we need. Some examples. First of all, who is pushing this revolution in technology? It is the richest people in the world. Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, Peter Thiel. Multi-billionaires are pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into implementing and developing this technology. What is their motive? Do you think they're staying up nights worrying about working people and how this technology will impact those people? They are not. They are doing it to get richer and even more powerful. That's issue number one. Who is pushing this technology? What does that mean for all of us? Number two, economically. This is what Elon Musk, putting hundreds of billions of dollars into the technology, says, quote, AI and robots will replace all jobs. Working will be optional, end quote. Bill Gates, hundreds of billions of dollars into this technology, quote, humans won't be needed for most things. Well, I got a simple question. If there are no jobs and humans won't be needed for most things, how do people get an income to feed their families, to get health care, or to pay the rent? There's not been one serious word of discussion in the Congress about that reality. Issue number three. Studies out there tell us what we all know to be true. Young people now are spending an enormous amount of time with AI. There are kids who are now getting most of their emotional support from AI.
Yeah.
If this trend continues, what does it mean over the years when people are not getting their support, their interaction from other human beings, but from a machine? What does that mean to humanity? And maybe last but not least, I did a symposium at Georgetown with Geoffrey Hinton, who is considered to be the godfather, Nobel Prize winner of AI. He thinks that AI is soon going to be smarter than human beings. So the science fiction fear of AI running the world is not quite so outrageous a concept as people may have thought it was. Those are some of the issues that are out there.
On the subject of the replacement of millions of jobs, I want to play something that the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, said last month about that topic.
AI is the most profound technology humanity is ever working on, and it has potential for extraordinary benefits, and we will have to work through societal disruptions. Right. It will create new opportunities. It will evolve and transition certain jobs, right? And people will need to adapt.
Now, the way he talks about it is, this is happening, and we, humanity, need to figure out how to adapt to it.
Right, while they make huge amounts of money. Yeah. Well, I think one of the things I think we need to do, and right now, among many other things, we're seeing data centers sprouting all over the country, raising electric bills for people in the communities, et cetera. I think we need to be thinking seriously about a moratorium on these data centers. Frankly, I think you got to slow this process down. It's not good enough for the oligarchs to tell us it's coming, you adapt. What are they talking about? They're going to guarantee health care to all people? What are they going to do when people have no jobs? What are they going to do, make housing free? So I think we need to take a deep breath, and I think we need to slow this thing down. One way to do it would probably be a moratorium on data centers.
The CEOs would no doubt say you would be stifling entrepreneurship and innovation.
Well, I look at it a little bit differently. And I think as a nation, as a world, we have got to do it. Is technology bad? Of course it's not. There are good aspects, bad aspects. The function of technology must be to improve life for human beings, not make Musk and Zuckerberg and Bezos even richer than they are. So let us work together to say, okay, if technology is going to radically improve worker productivity, are we going to reduce the work week substantially, making sure that workers continue to get the same pay?
Right.
If workers are thrown out on the street, how are they going to have health care? Obviously, let's guarantee health care to all people as a human right, etc.
So you talked about a moratorium on these new data centers.
Yeah.
What are some of the other recommendations you want Congress to take as soon as possible?
I think we need to vigorously study the impact that AI is having on the mental health of our country. Kids now, among other things, kids can't read books anymore. It's too hard. Their attention span is too weak. So what we need to do is, I worry very much about kids spending their entire days getting emotional support. So we have got to take a hard look at that. And if we conclude that these technologies are creating more isolation, more loneliness, more mental illness, you know what? We've got to figure out a way to stop it.
So the president just blocked
Right.
states from taking on any sort of AI regulation.
Right.
Meanwhile, Congress hasn't done anything. I mean, you are trying. Senator Hawley and Senator Britt on the other side of the aisle are trying, but there doesn't seem to be much of an appetite. Is that because, do you think, these AI technologies, the companies are so wealthy and affecting the willingness of legislators to do their job?
That's a very important part of it. Look, Elon Musk himself contributed over $270 million to elect Donald Trump the president. These guys have now come up with their super PACs to try to make sure that there is no regulation. So yeah, they are a very, very powerful entity, and I think that is one of the reasons why Congress has not been responding effectively.
Some Republican lawmakers, as I mentioned, Hawley and Britt, open to regulating. Others seem wary of any sort of involvement in this technology. Do you think ultimately that there will be a bipartisan majority willing to take any sort of action?
Well, any sort of action is a big, what does that mean?
Any sort of legitimate action?
Significant action.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, you are, again, this technology is not being pushed by mom and pop store owners. It is being pushed by the wealthiest, handful of the wealthiest, the most powerful people on earth. Can they be stopped? I don't know. But that raises a broader issue, the future of democracy, because it's not just AI and technology. These guys have unbelievable wealth, unbelievable power. What does that mean to the future of democracy?
But it's going to be different. We become fish. They become like human.
그런데 앞으로는 다를 것입니다. 이제는 인류가 금붕어가 되고 AI가 인간이 되는 그러한 모습이 펼쳐질 겁니다.
They will be 10,000 times smarter than us.
인공지능이 인간보다 10,000배 더 똑똑하게 될 것입니다.
So instead of we think we can control them, we can teach them, we can manage them, we have to start to harmonize. We have to start to synchronize. We have to start to respect.
그렇기 때문에 이제는 우리가 이 AI를 통제하고 또 가르치고 관리하려는 생각에서 벗어나서 새로운 사고방식을 통해서 AI와 조화롭게 살아가고 함께 살아가고 어떻게 하면 동기화할 수 있는지 이러한 것들을 고민해야 할 때라고 생각합니다.
That's my view. And they will be so smart. They will be so nice. They would make us happier.
지금 말씀드린 게 저의 AI에 대한 관점이고요. 앞으로 인공지능은 너무나도 똑똑할 거기 때문에 더 친절하고 또 사람들을 더욱더 행복하게 해줄 거라고 생각합니다.
Like we don't try to kill dog. We don't try to eat cats. We make them happy. We try to live in peace with them. We don't need to eat them. ASI does not eat protein. They don't need to eat us. Don't worry.
네, 우리가 마치 집에 있는 강아지를 죽이려 하지 않는 것처럼 또 고양이를 먹지 않는 것처럼 우리 역시도 AI와 함께 행복하고 평화롭게 살아갈 수 있다라고 생각을 합니다. 그렇기 때문에 ASI라는 것이 우리를 공격할까 봐 혹은 우리를 먹을까 봐 걱정할 필요는 전혀 없다라고 생각합니다.
약간 걱정되는데요.
I'm actually a bit concerned now.
대체적인 고양이와 개들은 그러지 않겠지만 가끔 싸나운 개가 있어서 걱정되는데 그 문제는 잘 해결될까요?
So most dogs and cats are okay, but every once in a while there is a very aggressive dog, and that could be a problem.
그 예를 들면 과학 분야나 분석 이런 영역에서 ASI가 뭐 노벨상을 받는 상황이 벌어질 것 같긴 한데 노벨 문학상까지 ASI가 석권하는 상황은 과연 올까요? 아니면 바람직하지 않은 건 맞는 것 같은데 어떻습니까?
So I have a question. For example, ASI might win the Nobel Prize in areas such as science or areas where you need analysis. But do you believe that ASI could win a Nobel Prize for literature? Of course, I do not believe this is a desirable situation.
I think it will.